Thank you for joining this session on how SKIMS is creating lasting customer connections. Today, I'm joined by Taylor Posen from SKIMS. She is the Director of Digital Marketing, and I'll go ahead and pass it over to her for a quick introduction.
Thank you so much. Yes, thanks everyone for joining us. I'm Taylor. Like Adina said, I'm the Director of Digital Merch, so really overseeing the website and the native app that we have here at SKIMS, everything from customer journey to site merchandising and everything in between.
I love it. And I'm personally a huge fan of the SKIMS brand, so I'm very excited to learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing over there. And we'll go ahead and kick start it off with our first question. What are some of SKIMS' biggest priorities for 2025, and how does customer marketing fit into that?
Yeah, great question. So I think we've built such a great foundation over the past 5, almost 6 years in September. So really our main priorities are just expanding on that. So like I said, a great foundation has been slated, but now we're going into stores, and what does that omni-channel experience look like? We've obviously built a website. We have an app now. How do we enhance that? Our site is super stable and everyone loves the experience, but to stay up to trends and, AI is coming out and all of the new, web and app trends, that's really important for us. And then also with all of that, kind of continuing to gain the customer's trust and reciprocate back to them with our loyalty program and new incentives and ways to really keep bringing them back to SKIMS in addition to amazing products.
Absolutely. And anyone on the call that is based in LA, you should absolutely go check out the new flagship store. It's so cool. I finally had a chance to go out there, and really great job to your team for building that out.
Yeah, it's also if you're in New York, our other flagship is in New York.
Yep.
Little plug.
That's a little plug in there. We love it. Cool. So SKIMS has mastered the art of turning buzz into long-term loyalty. How do you approach building emotional connection and community in a way that sustains your customer relationships beyond just the drops that you guys do?
Yeah, so you mentioned it. We obviously started as a really drop heavy business. We'd have a drop once or twice a week, which we still do, but by no means are we getting rid of that. And we also have, viral products and, celebrity campaigns that we do. But I think at our core, outside of all of those viral buzzy things, we have long-lasting products that everybody needs. So you always need underwear, you always need a bra, usually a t-shirt, whatever it may be. So we are building the trust with the customer through our products and the quality of the products. And while again, they might see us on a billboard with the hottest celebrity for a Valentine's Day campaign, they then come to the site, buy their cotton jersey t-shirt, and then they're hooked. And we continue to foster that relationship honestly through reviews. Personally, me as a shopper, I don't read it's like the running joke here, as I oversee all product descriptions and everything on site. As a shopper, I do not read a product description. I'm straight vibes, picture, and reviews. That's all I need. So reviews are so important to, again, maintaining that trust with the customer. And it doesn't only look good on the perfect model or the perfect celebrity. They can see the pictures, they can read the reviews, and so on.
Absolutely. And I look at the SKIMS site almost daily now, because of all of the calls that I do with my partners. And you guys are collecting some amazing reviews. I mean, they're incredible. And you talked a little bit about this, reviews being a key part of your strategy. Can you share a little bit more about how you're integrating reviews and customer feedback across different stages of the customer journey to enhance that engagement and that experience?
Yeah, for sure. We use customer reviews not only externally for the customer, but also internally. So if we're talking externally for the customer, we highlighted on the PDP, something that's really important to us is making sure that star count lives high, especially when you're on mobile. We want that star count to live high underneath the product title. So already they can see it's the cotton jersey t-shirt and it has 5 stars. From there, they can obviously click the stars and drop down and read all the reviews. We've enabled images, of course, a while ago now. And we've also enabled the AI summaries, which have proven to be super successful. Just again, as me, I read nothing. I'm like, tell me what I need to know. So those are super great. And then we can use that information to, share out with our paid team and our CRM team. They can put those little snippets in an email. Our team is obviously hand going through the reviews, and it's actually one of my favorite pastimes when I'm like, I just want to do something mindless and read and approve reviews. So we'll extract the really like novel ones that are new. If we dropped a new product, when we dropped the ultimate nipple bra, that one was such a viral moment. And of course, the campaign was viral around it. And then we got these reviews that were just so heartfelt for, past breast cancer survivors and stuff like that. So it's really amazing to see the reviews from real people come in. And then again, internally, we then pass all of the information to our product design team, our merchandising team, and how they can, iterate on these products or continue building into them what people loved. What's a pain point? The bra is not fitting right in the center. Everyone is saying that. Let's take that back before we buy into it again.
Right. It's so important to have that, constant feedback loop between the product team and the customer experience team and the customer marketing team and what your customers are actually saying about you. And you guys do a really great job at that.
Yeah, and I think it's so important too. Like I always think of myself as a consumer first, right? It's like you could be obsessed with a brand and you're like, please fix the straps or whatever on this. And listening to your customers and making those changes is the customers pay attention, like we're all over me personally, I'm all over TikTok. I'm always sending the team TikToks and even Reddit. There's a whole Reddit thread. It's funny because people think like we are in there writing stuff and we're not, but we are in there reading it. And it's fun to see when they post something and they're like, oh my God, Skims listened, like we did want this color or we did want this feature on the site or app. So I mean, listening to your customers is not underrated, like it's so important.
Absolutely. It really does make a difference to that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everyone on this call is wondering, as am I, what is next for Skims? What are you guys working on?
We're working on some really fun products for sure that I obviously wish I could speak to, but I can't, but some really good ones coming up very, very soon. So we're all excited about that internally. And we also, of course, just love seeing how the campaigns end up coming to life. So a lot of exciting things on that front. And then again, we're expanding our stores. So a ton of stores will be opening this year and to come, of course. And then expanding our loyalty. So currently our loyalty program is US only. We're looking to expand that to get to our international markets, give them that same experience, all the benefits included, and really just meeting our customers where they want. They want to have loyalty perks and they want to shop in store and touch and feel things. So, in the past, you could only shop Skims in real life via certain wholesalers like a Nordstrom and a million others, but Nordstrom, for example. But now that we have our stores, it's really great to see the products in real life in a store. And also, for us on the internal team, it's great to hear from the store employees what they're being told, at the register basically, or at the fitting room. So that's another feedback loop that we now get because we weren't getting it from, wholesale partners.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's that multi-channel,
Mhm.
feedback loop where your customers are still going in store and talking about your product, but you're not necessarily getting that feedback because it was a wholesaler. Now you have your own stores that you own that data from.
Yeah. Another thing I'd say that we're looking into more this year as well is, Skin started and still is at its core, a solution-driven brand, and also like your everyday basics. As of course that started in 2019. Obviously the world has evolved, like we're all outdoors a lot more, outside more. And so really showcasing our products as, multi-use and multi-wear, like, your cotton jersey t-shirt. Yeah, it's perfect with your cotton fold over pant if you're running errands, but also pair it with your jeans and your sneakers and, outfitting Skims from head to toe now that we have the assortment. Before, we didn't. We were strictly lounge and shapewear and intimates, but now we have that assortment. So really leaning into that, and we can do that through, of course, the site to a degree, but our influencer marketing, and all of the influencers. Again, I live on TikTok, so I see them all.
That's awesome. And a little plug for Skims. They are running their biannual sale right
Yep.
now. So
Started today.
started
It's,
today.
get your
Just
orders in now so they ship quick.
yeah, yes, yes. Make sure to go and subscribe to the brand
Yes.
as well. Next question for you. What does post-purchase engagement look like at Skims? And how do you continue to build that excitement?
Yeah, so like I said, we were and still will, of course, always be known for our drops and like our hype, but really giving the customers an incentive to engage more with us. So again, launching our loyalty program last year was huge, and as we expand that, it will continue to be huge. I think a loyalty program or an app is so important because everyone's on their phone. Like, let's be real, no one's as engaged with their email inbox as they are with like a push notification or a text message. So really following up with them that way. I just got it from another brand, and I've been bragging to my coworkers because we all placed orders from a different brand and mine was delivered today. And I'm like, that push notification was the best thing ever. I can't wait to go home and get my order. So those little, jolts of joy, if you will, are so important. And yeah, I think that's how we are starting the conversation.
That's a good thing. And you talked a little bit about, scaling globally. How are you guys planning to maintain that strong brand identity and, consistently have that user experience, and keep it personalized still as you're driving across markets?
Yeah, that's a huge thing for us as well this year. So we've kind of been saying it every year, like, yeah, we want a personalized experience. Like, no duh, as e-commerce 101, you want a personalized experience, but it's a lot harder to do than to
Oh,
say it. So, we have a couple personalized experiences now. If you are in a certain international country, so if it's winter right now, you're not going to be served our swim banners. We can personalize that way, but obviously there's far more to it. Ideally, it's a one-to-one experience. Like, you are seeing an ad, and that journey follows you all the way to the merchandising on the page, whichever product you're seeing. So that's my ideal dream state, of course, which we'll get there. But also, again, as we're implementing stores, having that personalized experience in store. And I don't know exactly what that looks like. I think there's a couple retailers that do it really well that I look to all the time. But that's another huge one for personalization. So, again, if you have the app, you go in store, great. It already knows what you've been browsing somehow, some way, and it meets you there, meeting the customer where they're at.
absolutely. Meeting the customer where they're at is one of the most important tips that anyone could give, if they're mobile first or if they
Mhm.
have a history of buying in store, you need to really take a look at that and segment based on where those customers want to hear from you.
100% to your point too, like maybe it's some sort of program where, okay, they always visit your website or skims.com, but they actually always purchase in store. So maybe there's some sort of reward or trigger or push or whatever it may be to be like, come in store. Like, we got you handled.
Right. Absolutely. That's a great point. So, what's one major shift in consumer behavior that you guys are paying close attention to? And how is Skims preparing to meet that moment?
Yeah, so I think universally, especially in the United States right now, price sensitivity is huge. Obviously, tariffs have, impacted and will impact a lot of businesses. And just in general, like consumer sentiment, like no one is, wow, I need all of these things anymore. Like, people don't really talk about or talk about or spend freely like that fun money, it's all like, let's be on a budget. So I think as a brand, you really have to stand behind the quality and like the why to buy behind your product, which we do. And, proving out to your customer, like, you're going to buy this t-shirt, you're going to buy this bra, or whatever it may be, soap, whatever it may be. And this is why you're going to pay this price, and it's going to be worth it. You're going to get your different outfits or whatever it may be. So really, again, just I think I joke with my boss all the time right now. She's had it like tattooed on my forehead, the why to buy. I think the why to buy is so important, especially in this day and age, again, where everyone is super price conscious. Everything is so expensive. Like everything is just crazy. Went to a coffee shop and it was $9. It was insane. It was
That's
insane.
sort of,
Yeah.
wow.
God forbid you get oat milk, you know? Uh,
God.
my
Yeah.
God, my goodness. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing. And again, it goes back to meeting the customer where they're at. So read the comments and see what they want and how can you cater that to them, basically.
Absolutely. I love this idea of storytelling. You're buying this bra, but you can wear it to work. Maybe it's a bra you could wear to the gym. Like giving sort of ideas to your customers of where they can use and how they can use your products. And
Hmm.
then also, using that social proof of your reviews, that credibility, the community in order to help convert those shoppers once they are on your PDP.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Thank you, Taylor. We'll open it up now for Q&A. If anyone
Yeah,
has
I do
questions.
see some good ones that I'm ready to answer.
Yes, yes. Let's get through them. We have a question here from Tyler. What are some other companies that you might use for good comps and ideas, especially for website experience, email experience, or loyalty programs?
Yeah, so I personally and internally for a website experience, we're always looking at Aritzia. I think they do a great job from uh, that storytelling piece that you're mentioning, Adina. They'll do a whole homepage takeover, and maybe the products have already been active, but the way that they've repositioned it, it's like a summer. It's like it could be as niche as a linen edit, and the entire homepage is all the different ways you can wear linen, and it's just so beautifully curated and done. And then they take it a step further and you go in store and their front table is the linen edit, obviously a micro condensed one, but there's a QR code and you can scan it and view that whole campaign. I'm actually obsessed with it. They did it for one of their recent celebrity campaigns. It was a whole tailoring suits in their effortless pant, and they had that QR code and you could view the campaign right in store.
So smart. That's so
Yeah.
smart. Yes, creating those edits are
Yes.
definitely key. And Aritzia is a great example of a brand that's done a fabulous job at building a brand and having products that are consistent, but they
Mhm.
they design them in different ways in store
Yeah.
and online.
And I think they're a really good example too of while they have a huge assortment and so many different products that they stand behind, I think probably all of us on this know the effortless pant, whether we've bought it or we've heard about it. And they stand 10 toes down on that product. And yes, they've redone it in a ton of different fabrics, but they do a really great job of one, that why to buy, why you need this product, and two, here's all the different ways you can wear it. You're wearing it on vacation, the linen version, and then you're wearing it to your webinar with Okendo.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. Amazing.
Also, sorry, I'll say one more. I really love this question. You got me going. In terms of like that in-store and app experience, and also website, Kith does amazing as well. Kith, they're like everything is so elevated. It's so beautiful. It's so thoughtfully curated. They just put out a new campaign. I think it was yesterday or the day before that I'm just like, wow, this is all men's stuff, but I'm so inspired. And now I want to be on this island that they've created. They do a really great job and their website to in-store experience is really, really strong. I also love their app.
I need to check out their app. I've never seen it before, but now I
Oh my
will.
God, it's so clean. It's beautiful.
Amazing. Good tip. We'll
Yeah.
definitely take a look. I have another question here from Douglas. When it comes to the customer's experience on your site, how do you feel pre-orders impact that journey?
That's a good question. We don't do pre-orders. So if anything, if something just isn't in time for a specific drop, we'll just keep it as coming soon with everything with all the other products launched, excuse me. So we don't do pre-orders, so I really can't speak to that. If I can put on my consumer hat, I hate a pre-order. I am so impulsive. I want it now and I want it delivered tomorrow. Hence, I can't wait to go home to my new order. So I don't love a pre-order, and I feel a lot of the a lot of the sites I shop on, it's like pre-order and it's order it right now on May 14th and receive it in August. I'm like, well, at that point, I'm over butter yellow. Like, I don't need the butter yellow sports bra anymore, you know? So I don't love pre-orders, but again, that's my consumer, and I'm super impulsive and I want everything now.
Well, that's a really good point because you are also like you're marketing to yourself as well
Hmm.
as someone that works at Skims, but also will purchase from the Skims brand. Uh,
Hmm.
Revolve also does that, the
Hmm.
pre-order stuff, and by the time you are on
Change
your,
my mind.
yeah, you don't want it
Yeah,
anymore. So
exactly.
pre-orders is tricky.
Yeah, and like honestly, when you're speaking to like trendy items, there's an activewear brand that I love. I buy everything from all their drops, but one of them sold out, and I'm like, truly, like by the time the butter yellow comes in August, the trend is probably over, you know? So I've missed the boat.
Yep, absolutely. We have another question from Isabella. Advice for small businesses trying to build community on social.
I think, I'm not the social media expert by any means, but from what I see from obviously Skims and just other brands that I look to on social, I think engaging with your community, it's never great to see a brand that almost feels too far from the customer, like disengaged with them. I think replying to comments, especially as a small business, like it really shows like, hey, we're human, like there's people behind this account, commenting back, engaging with them. I don't know, maybe you're doing like a coffee meetup, depending on how small your business is, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think just proving that you're human. I think a lot of times, consumers expect all of these brands to just be not real almost. And so yeah, I think humanizing the brand experience is really important.
Yeah, something just popped into my mind. No pun intended, but like doing a pop-up,
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
like being like, we're gonna be here at this coffee shop, or we're gonna be on
Hmm.
Penny on Saturday between 11 and 2, and just like meeting your customers
100%. I
with.
think, yeah, I think that's so important. I didn't even think of all the pop-ups we've done. Apologies, you guys. We did launch a sale this morning. I've been up for quite a long time here. But yeah, the pop-ups are huge. And, like I said, with our store experience, it gives our retail employees a way to talk to the customers. Pop-ups do the same thing. You can hear the customer feedback right then and there. And again, they meet you and they're like, oh my God, I met Adina from Okendo. Like she's so sweet. I love Okendo now.
Yeah,
So it again, that humanizing experience is so important to me.
definitely. I couldn't agree more. I think we have time for one or two more questions. I'll keep an eye on the chat, but we do have some that came in prior to the session. Taylor, what do you think makes a brand truly stand out in today's e-commerce landscape? It could be really anything as a consumer, or maybe having worked at Skims.
Yeah, I think having an authentic brand identity is huge. I feel, a lot of companies may start out, or maybe they've been around for a long time, whatever. But they kind of go too wide and they are trying to reach too many different people. I think knowing your audience, and not to say you shouldn't expand and try new things by any means, like definitely do that. But I do think that there's an element of really knowing your customer. I sound like a broken record, but like meeting the customer where they're at and truly meeting their needs. I think that's so important. And with that, again, is that in-store experience, all the way to on-site. So personally, I love doing user testing, and I'll think I know the answer. I'm like, well, duh, this makes sense. Like it was my idea. And then I watch the user test recordings back. I'm like, oh, I totally see what you mean, and then we can iterate on that. So I think again, I know I'm saying it again, I sound like a broken record, but listening to your customer and meeting them where they're at, is just so important. And again, it humanizes the brand, and I do think it makes the brand stand out.
Absolutely. And just to give a little plug on the Okendo products, a really great way to understand who those customers are is through surveys, or maybe a quiz, or
Mhm.
reviews. I mean, you can collect, you know, authentic information, things that feel very authentic to your brand, like size purchased, or
Mhm.
size normally worn, or age, or geographic location, really anything that gives you information around who that customer is and allows you to also you know, recommend additional products or meet them
Hmm.
where they're at.
Yeah, 100%. All that information is so important. I think of like some of our solution-based products, like our Sheer Sculpt low back short. It's like wedding season, and we're getting a lot of reviews. It's the product's been live for quite some time now, but we're getting more reviews because it's tis the season of all these weddings, and it's literally the perfect solution. And it's just amazing to be able to your point, collect all that information, see the images, and then again from the consumer side, I'm like, wow, okay, her dress was that low in the back, and she was able to wear it. This is perfect. Add to cart.
Right, absolutely. You're like, I don't know how this is going to fit on my body, but you see
Yep.
visual social proof and it allows you to have confidence in purchasing
Totally.
the product.
Yeah.
More question that has come through the chat, and this will probably be our last one. David has asked, what services or software do you love and use for user testing?
Usertesting.com. Simple as that. We use that one, and it's really great because you can, if you don't know it, I'll plug them. You can set up so many different user tests. I can literally just be like, hey, go on aritzia.com and find me a white t-shirt and walk me through your process. Do the same thing on Skims, or I can give them a Figma, or I can give them literally a particular page that I want. And again, it's like I think I have figured it out. When we were launching men's, we did this a lot. We had launched men's, and um, a men's shopping journey is quite different than a woman, but also we have women shopping for men on Skims. So it was really, really interesting to see how men shop for literally a white t-shirt versus how a woman would shop for a white t-shirt. So I love it.
And you think you know, but then
I'm like,
you do all this testing and you figure out like, actually, no, men prefer to look through like the
they don't care about a filter, or they do, whatever it may be. Yeah.
right. Interesting. Well, I love all those tips. Very cool. I do see another. Oh, you're welcome, David. No problem. Thank you, Taylor. This was super insightful and really interesting.